his silk folded business cards. This guy does it all. Check it out, greenink.com, gr33nink.com, or just head on over to pods.com. For right-hand corner, you're going to see his little logo there. I want to thank him for being a sponsor of the Podnuts Network, not only Geeksters, but all the shows we do on Podnuts. Thanks again for that. Hey, Mitch and Tim, how are things going with you guys? They both said great. So
now we warned you about doing that.
I know.
We warned you.
There's always this dilemma when. I'm Martin.
You introduce us both. You either get us talking over each other, or you get dead silence.
I know. I was supposed to call one of them out. So, how's it going, guys?
You did it. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Hey, Tim. How's it going then? Since I got Tim already flustered, this is a great way to start the show.
Okay. All right. I got Geeksters tonight. I got Pittsburgh Steelers tonight, right? We're kicking off the NFL season. We got the Steelers tonight, and it's garbage night. I mean, it's like the trifecta of Tim. Everything good that I need, boom, right there within a period of just a few short hours. I mean, I'm like, so I'm. This must be what it's like to use drugs. I'm just like, damn.
One thing I noticed right off the bat, Tim, is that your audio sounds a lot better tonight.
Does it? Well,
I don't know why.
It looks like it sounds louder. Not great, but it sounds louder.
Yeah, well, hey, that's me. I don't sound good. I just sound loud.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's fine.
I don't know. I haven't done anything, and so, but hey, I'll roll with it.
I mean, you're still not using the.
Oh no, it's
good
just
mic. Yeah.
It's just all cobbled together. You know how I roll.
Yeah.
Lumpy.
That's all right. All right. Hey, Mitch, how's it going?
It's going good. I was telling you before the pre-show there. Sometime back I put like a dummy put Lollipop on my Nexus 7, and it's been horrible ever since. No, I did factory resets. Of course, when you're doing a factory reset, it's with Lollipop, and I thought I cleared a partition cache. I did it again, and maybe I didn't do it the right way the first time, but it did improve it a heck of a lot. It's very usable now. Because I came down over the weekend. I was going to get all this stuff, figure out what I needed to put KitKat back on, but just show you real fast. It's pretty responsive now. I don't know if you can see it on the screen.
Oh yeah.
Could you describe? Because I've heard you talk about doing that before, and I don't. In my mind, I can't picture what you're doing.
Right? You mean to clear the partition cache?
Yeah.
You had to boot up to the boot recovery thing, and I can't remember it how, and I should have wrote it down. It's on YouTube. I followed somebody was showing you how to do it on YouTube.
Okay.
But he had Lollipop on. I think he had KitKat, and it still worked the same way, and it really helped immensely because I couldn't even use Facebook at all. Wow. I mean, I was using some third-party app to work like Facebook. It was a Facebook clone, and now I put Facebook back on it. It's good. It's not blazingly fast. It's very usable now. I mean, it's not like my wife's Samsung Tab 8A, which hers is really very fast. But it's working well. I mean, it's good enough for me. I'm watching TV. I want to see. My wife, she doesn't watch sports, so I have to watch something with her. But I have it next to me. Now I'm gonna check out what the scores are. There you go. It's great.
So when you boot up, that's one of the options is to clear the partition cache. Is that right?
Yeah, you have to get in that recovery mode thing, and it's like I forget. It's like maybe the down and the I don't know, the up volume and the power button. Then look over the one. Then you got to do a couple different things, but it's really easy. But I don't think I did it quite right the first time.
What the heck is the partition cache? I'm not sure I don't even know what that is or what it does. Of course,
what it is, there's stuff still on there, even though it did a factory reset. There's still files not in use, and I think it just gets rid of everything that's not part of the OS. At least that's how I read it.
Okay, all right. So you've done that before.
I don't think I did it the right way. I thought I did. Because because you'll get to this one point where it looks like it's an error. You have to do another combination to get out of that. Then it gets you into the thing where the menu to actually scroll down and do the cache thing. I'm going to find it and I'm going to post it. So.
The unofficial explanation: the system cache partition stores temporary system data. It's supposed to allow the system to access apps more quickly and efficiently, but sometimes things get cluttered and outdated. Okay, well, that just sounds like, yeah, I mean, clearing the cache, right? Periodic cache cleaning can help make the system run more smoothly. It's different from clearing individual app caches, and it won't lead to any loss of personal data or settings. Many authorities suggest a cache wipe after installing a system update. Well, you know what? So why is it buried? Why would I'm surprised it's that hard to get at if those with some tech savvy actually would want to do it periodically.
You're right.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, well, that's good to know.
Yeah, there's a ton of if you go on YouTube, just search it like clear partition cache or whatever, and it definitely helped. Like I said, Facebook, it just would not do anything. It would just I couldn't get it to load up, and but now. And it's still not super fast, but once I open it up the first time, it's good. So it's working good enough for me now.
Yeah. Interesting.
Cool.
Oh, that's hey, I love a success story.
So, last week did I talk about how the school we had pulled wire and the sheetrock guys had sheetrocked it all in? All right. So yesterday, the contractor who pulled the wires came out with. And we started digging around, stuck my hand up in one of the holes because I didn't get up high enough. Stuck my hand up in one of the holes, reached in, and grabbed the cable. I thought, great. I started pulling it, and knowing at some point it's going to stop because there's a bundle of cable at the end of it. Sure. And it kept pulling and pulling and pulling, and all of a sudden the end came out. Yeah, they had completely sheared the end off and in an angle.
Wow.
And so it kind of looked like it wasn't cut. They didn't cut it with scissors. They just kind of ripped it apart. So feeling there's still probably about another 50-foot spool of cable, but we were able to patch it and finish the project last night. So we're talking about success stories. That was the downstairs science lab. We pulled new cables for some new runs that they needed. The wireless is up and running. The AP's good. So that's a success story, even though it ended. Man, it was awful. They had done some weird stuff at this job. So.
Was this old work, or was this new construction?
New construction in an old building. But when you're pulling cable, when you need to do a cable run, you use what's called swoop 90 conduit. So it's straight down 90, right? It swoops because you have cables that need to go through. So basically, you're going 180 degrees, and we can't pull cable through it. Even though there's a cord, there's a pull string already through it, we can't pull cable. So we didn't finish that run because we thought if we pull one cable, we may not be able to get the rest of the cables that need to go through there later. Right. So we left that one alone.
Hey, Mitch, you getting that too?
Yes.
Or just me? Okay.
No.
I'm even using Firefox.
No, it's not that. It's just maybe more like an internet thing.
Yours was kind of cutting in and out a little bit earlier too, but I'll just talk slower.
I don't know if that's gonna have any impact.
Yeah, that's you know what? That's just construction. I mean, the trades step on each other's toes and everybody does their best to get along. I mean, that is the hardest thing to overcome. If you go on a construction job and you can keep everybody, basically getting along, and I tell you, on about this time of year when it's hot and a project has to be done, and hey, sometimes the tradesmen, they just gotta go out on a Friday at lunchtime and just have a little fist fight, and then go have some beers, and everybody's happy again. I mean, sometimes it just gets that way. It's tough. I mean, it's a tough environment, and especially drywallers, because, man, they come in, they ain't messing around. They're under the gun. That is hard work, and they don't care about your little wires.
Apparently not.
They don't. I mean, and look, I mean, that's look, that's very, very hard work. It's good work, man. If you can do it, but that's not one of the more skilled professions, and I'm going to say that in a way that's not to demean not to demean it at all. But I've worked around enough drywallers that it's like, I almost expect something to get cleared over, something to get. Of course, I mean that was an unusual situation you were dealing with there, and I'm glad it all worked out all right. But I tell you, I cut them guys just a little bit of slack because they throw that stuff up like it's like it's wallpaper, just back and forth. They don't mess around. So that's the part. That's the hardest thing about construction, man. It's just getting everybody to keep getting along.
Right, and I'm not saying that what they did is that it's not hard. I understand that. I'm not even the slightly bit jealous that they to do their job. They are machines when it happens to that. But my thing is that if you have all these people that are supposed to be working together and you have cables that have been ran, then don't cut them. Let's work together and not. Whether it was malicious or not, I'm going to give them to say that it wasn't malicious, but it was without a lack of thought. So malicious or not, there wasn't a whole lot of thought or care or concern put into it, and that's what bothers me. Is that part? So in the same way that if I came behind you and you were working on a project, we were working together on a project, and you had parts out, I wouldn't just destroy them because they were in my way. We would probably talk.
Yes, you would.
Well, if it was bitches, hell yeah. But you not so much.
Not as a rule, but if it was me specifically.
Right. Not as a rule, but if it said, this fluke belongs to Tim, I would go down the river faster than you could say, howdy doody.
So and I guess here's what's it boil down to. I mean, was this an event? Or was this a pattern of behavior? Did you lose a lot of wires? Or, did a lot of other people have their wires buried? Receptacles covered over.
Yep.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, in that case, then we got a real problem. And I'm going to start looking back at the drywallers.
Yeah. No, they cut my line, patched over. They one of the pull string coming out of the other pipe at the other end of the building for another run, it was in their way, so they cut the pipe and then sheetrocked over it.
Oh.
So then the electricians had to come in and cut through the sheetrock to try to find the pipe so they can then run another pull string through. So there was multiple issues where malicious or not, the lack of the common courtesy was not there, and that's frustrating.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it sounds like across the board there was just a lack of respect for the other trades, and that you don't get away with that for very long.
No, but the job is done. It's complete. It works. Everybody's happy. It's all it all went together. Well, it took a little bit longer than we expected, but it's done, and that makes me happy.
Boom. Beautiful. Excellent. Well, I'm glad that had a nice ending. It ended well.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, what else? That was, man, this has been one of these weeks where just some weird stuff. I mean, just random, good and bad. So one of the things that I had found out, so what happened? Let's see. I've got a couple notes okay. Well, this is one. Got a call 2 days ago regarding the owner of a company who could not access QuickBooks, and QuickBooks maps to the 2 drive. And I thought, okay, there's the mapping is wrong or something simple. And then I got an email shortly after that I didn't see saying he also couldn't access some of the shared drives. I thought, okay, so this still sounds like a mapping drive. And then I got a phone call saying this person's internet is no longer accessible. And I thought, okay, so now, now we've pinpointed it away from map drives to internet, right?
I believe these might be related.
Right, exactly. So I get on site, and they tell me his internet is back up and running because he can access his email, because email's flowing, but he can't access the share drives. All right. So I sit down and I click on the share drives, and sure enough, nothing works. Go open up Internet Explorer. Everything works. No problem. IP addresses you get. No IP address.
Hmm.
I right-click on the network right to open up the network connections. There are none. There's nothing listed under network connections.
Oh, yeah.
So now I'm thinking, well, it's a driver issue, right?
Yeah.
Open up System Manager.
Hmm.
I get a yellow X, the yellow exclamation mark on the chipset on the driver.
This thing's borked.
Right. Okay. So
I mean, I would say, okay, driver, hardware, something. I mean, if he didn't have internet access, but I mean, if he's successfully browsing the internet, I mean, there's something bad there. There's something broken.
Right.
Software. It sounds like software.
Right. So there's no network. Pardon me.
Sounds like an infection.
Right. Well, he's not infected. I've verified that,
Okay.
but he's also on managed antivirus, so I should get notified.
Yeah.
Well, at least it wasn't my initial assumption that he was infected. So I tried to reinstall the drivers, and it said process exception. Wouldn't let me reload the drivers. So then I uninstalled it, including the drivers. Went to reload it, process exception. Wouldn't let me do anything.
Okay.
So then I went ahead and so now there's nothing showing up in the network connections. There is nothing. There's no drivers.
Uh-oh.
You know what?
Drivers? Pardon me?
Well, he's back.
Yeah, you cut out for a good 5, 6, 7 seconds there.
Okay. When we go to drivers from another laptop, put them back on the computer, install them, and it wouldn't work. Still process exception.
Yeah.
Wouldn't install. So thought, well, let me at least get them up and running by putting a wireless card. I have a little USB Asus, wireless adapter. Put it in there. Go to load the drivers, process exception.
No.
No drivers. It wouldn't work. So by now, I've been there for about 40 minutes, and I'm thinking I'm going to have to take this home with me. So I take it back to my office, but on my way back to the office, I stopped by a couple of the two stores that are in the area, and because I'm looking for a PCIe NIC card, nobody has any. Which now concerns me because I'm now dealing with another issue of, well, if my two local shops that I always go to for hardware are not having any of these anymore, think that I've used, and everybody else is now using Amazon so much for accessibility that I'm going to now start to feel it locally, even though I don't buy a lot of stuff local because I can get it cheaper online. And the company that I used to buy everything from local is more expensive, and they've downsized. They went from 6 employees to 2, and they cut their shop in about a third. So, came home, started working on that computer, banged my head against it for a while, got a hold of Liam. He had some ideas that would make sense if it was some things were in play, and I ended up having to leave and go play softball.
Okay, has this been solved yet?
Yes, it's been resolved.
Oh, okay, well, let me ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
Did you run System Restore?
No restore points.
No. Oh man. Okay. How about Linux Live Disk?
Live CDs work just fine, and I can boot from my Pixie Boot server.
Okay, so this Windows is broken. All right, go ahead.
All right. So start looking around, and everybody keeps saying, well, the problem, you need to reload the drivers, and it's not the problem. And they, just do a system restore. Well, somebody said I did, and it didn't fix it, but I didn't have any restore points. So it's probably 11:30 midnight, and I'm looking around some more, and I found it. Here's where it is. HKey local machine. You got to go into your registry, go to HKey local machine, system, current control set, control, and then network. Inside of there's a key called config. You take that key called config and you rename it. Config old, whatever, it doesn't really matter, just rename it. Once it's renamed, reboot the computer. It then recreates itself and brings back all your network adapters.
Okay. I don't like it though. How did it get like that?
I have
Yeah.
no
That's
idea.
that's what bothers me. It's yeah.
It was working,
But
and then
why
it
were there no
stopped.
store points?
Well, because there, I don't know. But I mean, that's
Uh,
separate. That may be somebody that set that up on the domain. I'll have to go back and look.
All right. Okay. So it's working. It doesn't feel solved. I don't know. I don't like it. Where'd it go? Hey, how about by any chance what was the disk health? Were there any issues with the
Nope.
with the hard drive?
Nope. I would not, and well, here's the thing, and I couldn't even run D7. It would open and then close. It wouldn't even load all the way. I couldn't apps. They would open and then close. So it was really odd. I ran ScanDisk on it, and SFC, or scan, or what is it,
Yeah.
SFC scan now, came back completely clean. I was
Wow.
able to, within D7, go to the config, go to deep under the folders, and I could run Crystal Disk,
Yeah.
Blue, no problems.
Just Windows 7?
Windows 7 Pro on a domain.
Man.
Whether I logged in or the other user logged in, it didn't matter. I created a new profile, didn't matter. So this was definitely something. Well, it was in the registry. It was the HKey local machine.
You did all your malware scans beforehand, right?
Malware scans, any scans that I could run that wouldn't error out initially, I was able to run, no problems.
No,
So
I missed it in the beginning. Was this wasn't a new install, was it?
oh, this computer is it's a 3-year-old computer, but it was
Yeah,
working
it's-
and then it stopped working.
Yeah, he said someone else.
Something got it got
Something got in there.
used up somewhere. Yeah.
But
Hmm.
what was weird, like I said, is that your control panel and you go in your network configurations where you can see all your adapters completely empty. No adapters were showing.
Yeah, I mean, I could picture that because my machine here just recently it got zapped. I mean, it physically damaged the onboard Ethernet adapter. So I know what that looks like, but at the same
Right.
time, to still have internet connectivity, but then have that's just bizarre. I mean, I could see I could see the fix. I understand, but
I wondered if you would have
it's
if you would have deleted everything or did you say you did that? Delete everything in Device Manager and reboot?
Oh yeah, no, I deleted.
You
Well,
did
there was
that.
only one adapter. I've deleted the adapter. I uninstalled it with the drivers rebooted. It came back up unknown. I said, reinstall. Here's the drivers, and it said process exception.
yeah, he even attempted installing a wireless NIC.
Yeah, any network card I put in there. Well, like I said, I tried installing it.
Something-
So, but I could boot, like I said, boot from my Pixie server, so the NIC was active. It was actually getting stuff. So, and it was a live Linux CD booting just fine, no problem. So, it was definitely Windows.
Yeah.
But if somebody runs into that issue again, where you have them in the show notes, but there's a registry key that you can just modify, and then it will come back.
It sounds like it got maybe
Yeah,
infected
it was
one time or another, and it was fixed, but it didn't fix everything that was broken.
But it was working. I mean, I had worked on this machine, a week beforehand, moving data around, and it was working fine, no problem.
You
And
know
he,
what?
and he was on
Sunspots.
vacation.
Sunspots.
Yep, sunspots.
It might have just been one of them hiccups where the user kicked the plug or the surge or something, and
He was on vacation.
and it didn't. Well, maybe whatever happened. Maybe it
Right.
didn't shut down gracefully, or something weird happened. I mean, we'll chalk it. It happens. It's usually not something quite as obvious as that, but I have a feeling you're going to hear from this machine again. But I hope it was just one of those just really rare events. But
I've had issues, but even a clean install wouldn't do it. But then, come to find out after examining the motherboard, it had the leaking capacitors.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's fixed, but it's working now. And,
Yep.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Well, good. Okay. I don't feel that story's finished, but we'll put it.
Well,
back
yeah, I don't
right
know,
now.
but right now it's working.
But anyway, I big thumbs up for being tenacious and working it through. I don't know if I would have followed it that far.
Well, I needed it back up and running the next day, and I was going to work all night on it or not. But once I finally got this up and running, really it was nothing. I did all the Windows updates and scanned it and checked for viruses. Came back completely clean after it was updated. After I could get online, D7 ran just fine once it was online. So I don't know.
That man, I don't know. And the system file checker, SFC /scan now. I can't believe that came back clean. That's why I'm thinking that just had to be some really weird hiccup. I don't. Anyway, all right. Well, I'm not gonna dwell on it. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that worked out good.
It's good.
Let's see. When was our last? Did school start this week? Yeah, it did.
I think last week here or the week before.
Last week? Yeah, I deployed. Yeah, because I deployed all my access points for the one school. That's good. Got that up and running. They want me to work on their phone system now. That's not a problem. I'm up and running with their new phone system.
I know some good drywallers that can come in behind you.
Oh my gosh! No kidding. No kidding. So, because the school is using open mesh devices, and I've talked about them on the show before, I upgraded all of their access points. So
There he's back.
I'm hearing you fine, Tim.
Yeah.
sorry. So in open mesh, the firmware that you get from the manufacturer is version 4. Within the Cloud Tracks console, you can upgrade the firmware to version 5. And I've done that at my house, and I've been using my open mesh as my primary access point just for some testing here.
Okay.
One of the things that I noticed the other day was, am I cutting out?
No. Hey, reborn you, Mitch.
No, he's laughing at me.
Hey, just let that.
I yawned. All right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, me. I'm sorry.
Oh, man,
I'm old. Don't forget, I'm old. And
It's okay, Mitch. We won't wake you up.
I'm not bored. What's up? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm
Good night, Mitch.
Oh,
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
I can't. I gotta watch some football tonight, man. I'm jacked.
Well, you're all jacked, then you shouldn't be sleeping.
I'm not. I just yawned. He just laughed because I yawned.
I think you were asleep.
Don't forget, I get up like 5:30 or 5:20 every morning or
All right.
earlier.
I was up at 4:50 this morning.
Yeah, but you don't sleep either, so.
Well, okay. Upgraded the firmware, and in the firmware upgrade, there's better monitoring, there's better graphics, better reporting. But one of the things that I noticed was so for testing on my phone, sometimes I'll put my phone and I'll use Verizon's DNS or Google's DNS, so I get around, kind of just use another DNS. Go to sleep.
Oh, you weren't supposed to see that.
Yeah,
That's why I turned the camera off so I won't distract anybody.
You turned it back on too soon, though.
No.
Anyways, I'm going to finish my story. One of the things I had noticed with some testing is that in version, I don't know if it's a version 5 or 4, because now I don't have any version 4 open mesh firmware here, is that I put OpenDNS as the primary DNS on the second SSID. So in open mesh, the first SSID is the SSID that gets the IP addresses for the 10 dot. It has its own IP address scheme. That's where you're going to have it for like guest networks. The second SSID, you can mark it and you can put a checkbox in it to get its IP addresses from the local LAN. So your computers will pass through open mesh and talk to your local router or server or whatever is holding your DHCP and get an IP address from there. Oh my gosh! So if people who can't see this video, they're both yawning at me now.
I'm not. I'm legit. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. I'm really interested.
Just about it. Tim's got a blanket, warm milk, and a teddy bear.
A teddy bear.
I know I'm fake yawning to try and induce yawns in Mitch so that we can laugh at him.
Well, you're getting me.
Nah.
That's the problem. You're making me yawn. My dog yawns and it makes me yawn. So I'm pretty susceptible to that.
3,000 miles away. I'm sorry.
That's all right. where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So what I was finding is that I put the OpenDNS in the domains in the DNS for the second SSID, which is on my LAN. Okay, so what should happen then is that the computers on the LAN through OpenMesh will actually get their DNS. They're queried by OpenDNS if they don't have anything set on their adapter, right? The problem we have with OpenDNS is that if you change your local machine to something besides OpenDNS, it goes around
Right.
OpenDNS. That's a problem I've had in the past. That's one of the reasons why I've been looking at like pfSense or something like that to put inside of these residents. And what I mean residents is apartment complexes with open wireless for the resident use, because they're going around OpenDNS. What I found in testing was if you put the OpenDNS information in your local, Mitch, you're making me yawn. I know you. I didn't see you, but I could hear you. Darn it! Now I'm yawning. What I was finding is that even with when you put OpenDNS in the second SSID and or on the second, yeah, if you put OpenDNS in the DNS on the second SSID, which is going to talk to your LAN, your computers should talk to that. To go around that, you would just change it on your local machine. Even when I changed it on my local machine, I couldn't get around OpenDNS. It locked it in. So therefore, it seems like, and I'm going to do some more testing with this, but initially, if you're using OpenMesh devices on the second SSID that allows you to attach to your LAN, put OpenDNS in there, anything coming in through that second SSID, even if they make the change on their local machine to a different DNS provider, they cannot bypass OpenDNS.
Interesting.
So if this works, this is a quick and easy $120 box that I can put in all of these different sites, manage it all in one console, and there we go. Now the resident wireless gets all from OpenDNS. I mean from these boxes.
Sure, sure. Ah, very nice.
So I thought that was I just happened to be messing with some stuff and I was like, wait a minute, I'm getting filtered for some reason and here I am.
Yeah, I wonder. Is that a feature?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know
Should
what's. I mean, you put the DNS in there, but I don't know if I didn't see anything in there that says don't allow. I didn't see anything in there that either allowed or denied you passing or going around that.
Right,
But by
right,
putting
right,
it in
right.
there, it seems like of course, if you don't, it says optional. So if you don't put anything in there, it's going to get DNS from your router because or for your DHCP server or whatever. It's
Yeah.
going to get it from that device. But sounds like if you put it in your OpenMesh, it's going to pull that and not allow you to go around it. And this is not, and like I said, this is not on the public wireless where you would put this into a coffee house. So I'm going to test it there as well because if that works, then we can definitely lock people out of a coffee at like my coffee shops that I work at. I can definitely lock it there, and I'm curious if this is a feature with the version 5 firmware on these devices.
Oh, okay. Because you updated the firmware.
Yeah.
I put it together now. Okay, that is a wow. That's outstanding. Because I know that's an issue you've tried to resolve. You know, how do you do this? And you know what? To actually have these things, you're putting them in place. Boom. It's already got the solution in it. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And they don't tout this as a solution. They don't say that this is a feature, but if it just is, then that's a win for me, and that actually goes in my favor.
Yeah. Oh, very good.
So.
Digging it.
Yeah, that was cool. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's a nice discovery. Because I mean, you just it was kind of a happy accident you even discovered that.
Yeah. So what else have I done this week? You guys have anything before I move on to another topic, or?
Hey, just real quick, I wanted to point out something about Windows 10 that I discovered that I really like, and it's kind of pathetic that I'm happy about this because this should have been. I don't understand why this was so difficult, but it was so nice. I have a Bluetooth headset. I plugged in a little Bluetooth adapter.
And it worked.
uh, yeah, it worked like it should have. And you know what? Maybe it's not Windows 10. Maybe Windows 8.1 or whatever would have done the same thing. I don't know. If it did, that's great. It's about stinking time because when Windows 7, Windows 7, I don't understand why Bluetooth support was so horribly difficult. You plug the thing in. Well, I don't have the driver, so you got to go find the drivers. Well, what chips? I don't know. I just bought the thing. I don't know what
Mhm.
chips in it. So you got to find the chip and put the driver in. Well, it has limited, features. It's like this is so stupid. I get a flip phone matter of fact, if I had a flip phone the garbage, I could pull it out and connect it right up Bluetooth to my heads. I don't understand why this was so difficult with all this hardware and all this software. You know, so finally, and just on a lark, I plugged that in. Boom! It just very happily installed it. It very happily just connected to my. Now, there were still some issues that I think that just from not using it, I was trying to figure some things out. But I mean, it was like finally this, and it shouldn't surprise me. I mean, this is like designed to go on the phones and the tablets and the this and that, and so to see it work like it shouldn't have been a huge surprise. But I don't know why it took so long. If anybody knows, help me out. But I just don't understand why Bluetooth support in these computers. It obviously when you get a laptop and it has the Bluetooth stuff and it would already come with drivers and everything, and so that was nice. But I mean, if you had a desktop and you had a USB adapter, it was a complete nightmare. So I was very glad about that.
Here's something on Windows 10 I just don't like. Why did my screen on the recording machine for the show it just goes dim, and I had set it to never shut down, never turn off display, and never put it to sleep while on power, and it just did it.
It dimmed it, or it turned the display off.
It turned display off black.
Is your screensaver on?
Disabled. That's a good question. Let me check that one.
Maybe you have that infection that eats your screen.
Oh, there it is.
I'll check it. I don't want to mess. I don't want to mess. I don't want to lose the recording. You still there, Martin?
Oh yeah.
Dora posted this that he got from somewhere. 12 sites that teach you coding. Coding for free.
Oh yeah.
It was really interesting. Because I messed around with Visual Basic way back in the day, very little, and that's something that might be a hobby when I retire. Something to do, So I'll post it there, and I'll do it here if you want to keep it for show notes. So Visual Basic, which I think now is Visual Studio, and that's what pretty sure it's what D7 is built on.
Yeah, that I'm not 100% sure, but that does sound correct.
No, I talk to Nick almost every week, and I hang out on Saturdays.
Yeah, so this 12 sites that'll teach you coding.
Mhm.
Code Academy, Concorsa, edX, Udemy, GitHub, MIT OpenCourseWare, HackPledge. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. That is cool. Well, even like GitHub is number 6, and it says you can find more than 500 free programming books that cover more than 80 different programming languages on the popular web-based. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I think I bought a book. This is like 15 years ago, maybe longer. Sam's teaches you Visual Basic and whatever. Remember those Sam's books?
Oh, I learned front page off of a Sam's book.
Yeah,
It was.
Mhm.
I've never flown through a book. Well, that's not true. I've never flown through a computer book that fast. But it really, they're still around. But I find that the Sam's books are definitely step 1, step 2, step 3, and they build off of each other, and they're fairly simple to use.
Exactly.
So I've always been a big fan of them.
Like what did I do? I don't know, made a clock or something. I can't remember in the Visual Basic. I mean, I was doing everything right, but I didn't really understand it. It was just, but I don't know why I lost interest. Because really, if programming, I guess Visual Basic is one of the easier ones because it's a object-oriented language, and but I should have stuck with it though.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never tried. I mean, I've done some HTML coding and some
Me
Java
too.
coding but that's all web page stuff. I'm not a programmer. It doesn't.
It's
I don't get
tedious.
excited to do it at all.
I did some HTML. This is before, like, now you have CSS, and you can have all these WordPress and whatever. Which I guess in the long run you learn that it makes it easier. But to me, I thought just using plain HTML, just coding everything using Notepad or whatever, that was easy. Even though it took a while, it was easier for me. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, I have friends who do it, and that's what they do. I mean, you look at Matthew Rodella and people like that,
Right,
and
right.
they that's what they do, and they love it. And I nope.
I'm sure you can make a nice living making web pages.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I mean, I would much rather. I mean, even last night, going through working with this guy, he's pulling cables and he's up in the ceiling and he's doing stuff. I was there, I was helping him out, but that's not what I want to do. Once the jacks
Right,
are
right,
done and the
right.
punch downs and everything that looks pretty, then let me take it from there and let me build the network and let me go that route. But I don't have any desire to crawl spaces and I don't even have a drill for Pete's sake. I mean, I have a drill, but this guy comes out with his saws and everything, and I don't have half of the tools that he had but yet I was showing him some of my Fluke devices, and he's like, "Oh, that's cool. I don't have those, because we
Funny
work
you
with two
say
different
that.
things."
Funny you say that about a drill, because I used a drill this morning to drill 2 more notches in my belt.
Wait,
Bought this new belt. It's a size 50, and but it was probably a little too big. I had to
Oh, it's too
drill.
big. Oh, that's good. You put the
well,
arrow
that is
away.
good.
You
Yeah,
didn't have to let it out.
Well, that's what I didn't know where to go with that. I was like, is that good or bad? I'll let somebody else decide.
it doesn't matter. Either way, it's bad. I shouldn't be
Well, no,
doing
it's
it.
good. Good job. I'm gonna have to drill a hole in my belt, but I've been losing some weight, so I'm excited.
Not me.
All right, so I got an email today. Oh, go ahead.
Now I was going to say,
Nope. I wasn't sure if you were yawning again.
no. You were going to have a guy. You had a guy come out the house to.
Oh, yes.
How did that go?
Oh, the guy
Install
come
cable.
on.
Okay, so he came out to a proposal, and I forgot to tell my wife, so my wife shows up, and there's a guy in our house, and she's like, "Oh, hey." So he comes out, and apparently, well, because he has worked at our neighbor's home, they had actually wired our house already with Cat5, but they used them for the phone jacks, so they were just using 2 pairs instead of 4 pairs. But I only have 3 phone jacks in my house, so he would have to run new cables. But I just had picked up, I mentioned it, I just had picked up from the county or from the city my network, my whole house diagrams, everything, the electrical, the whole contractor stuff. So we were able to go look through there and look at where all the cables were, which was nice. Anyways, what I want him to do is put new jacks in and everything like that. It turns out to be about $1,600. I haven't gotten an official proposal yet, but see, that's him rerouting all the data, putting in 3 more plates, converting the current plates, phone plates, into Ethernet, and then that's a rack punch down, all the cables coming back in, getting punched down, putting a couple splitter boxes in another location of the house where the cable is. So that's him doing everything. It is a little steep, but it's professionally done, wired correctly.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, I haven't seen the actual proposal from him yet, but that was kind of his ballpark. $100 was what it would cost. So, and $500 of that is going to be just the hardware that I want him to put in. I guess he could just pull it down and let it dangle in the closet here, and I could put a rack in, but then I don't want to do the punch downs and all that. I'll let him do all that.
Did you say your house was wired with Cat5, but they
Yes.
used that for the phone line?
Yeah, and you can do that. You can
Yeah.
wire. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's what they did, because he said, "Oh, I think you already have Cat5 in your house." And I said, "I don't see it." And we pulled the phone plates off, and sure
That's
enough,
what we're using. Yeah.
there they are. So, because what happens is, in my house, from the garage, there's one line that goes up to a master bedroom, and there's a plate, and that's where all of the other lines for the house come into. So we have to basically run. We'd have to patch it from here, run it down, and then back up to the house. So all the lines get connected, and so there's a back path that it has to take, and that's part of the expense. We did see that he would have to go without looking. It looks like there is a conduit though that goes straight from the attic to the crawl space. It's already in place, so that's nice because he doesn't have to drill holes or anything. You can just snake right down that conduit.
You could get rid of your landline.
Well, I don't have a landline.
Oh.
So.
So what part of this do you not want to do yourself?
All of it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to crawl around in my attic. I don't want to crawl around the crawl space. I don't want to drill holes.
There is enough of that element that it's like screw it.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. No, I got you.
In my when I lived in my townhouse 20 some odd years ago, I put an attic antenna in there, and of course I had the rafters, and sure enough, I fell once.
Oh, Jamie, Christmas!
I didn't go through it, but I had a little crack, in the ceiling. I had to fix. It didn't go all the way through, but stupid.
Yeah, and I just don't want to do that. So
yeah,
I hear you.
That's really a lot of it is not necessarily.
We can't. It's just.
I mean, it's just not what I want to do.
I'll do it remotely.
Perfect. See now, if and this guy, he's a contractor. This is what he does for a living. So.
Just be in and out.
Yeah, I mean, it would probably take him. He said it would probably take him 10 hours, but I think I'm not. He's like, nah, I don't think it's really going to take me that long. And everything would be nice and done. And he would put new panels in and stuff.
I am confused. You said it is Cat 5, but they tied it off with phone. I'm confused.
Well, because so they just use Cat 5, and at the phone jacks in the wall, you can pull those off, and because phone only uses four cables.
Right.
Out of the 8 that are in Cat 5, they just used 4 of them and then took the other 2 and they just wrapped it back around itself.
But you don't have a landline anyway, right?
No, but there's the plates.
You don't want to undo it. Yeah.
Right. So he'll just.
But you could though if you wanted.
Right. He'll just pull the plates off, cut the Cat 5, put new ends on it, and then or punch it down to Ethernet, and then at the other side he'll put it in a panel and everything.
Oh, he is going to use the same Cat 5 you have.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I misunderstood. Okay.
Yeah. Because that's already ran to those 3 locations, which is just my office, kitchen, the little nook, which nobody would use, but since it's there, we might as well use it, and then I believe, and then the master bedroom. Those are the only 3 phone lines in the house, or phone connections, data connections, but we're going to put one down by the media center, and then 2, one in each of the kids' rooms. They share a wall, so that would be just one, 2 lines straight down and pop it out type thing. But he would cut the holes in the walls and do all of that. So I'd make a bigger mess.
I got you.
Hey,
so we'll see.
Well, you could do it, even if you didn't want to. You could do it if you had the free time. You could do it. It's like I understand exactly where you're at. It's kind of like I enjoy working on my car. Am I so busy that I can't make some free time to work on my car? No, I'm not. If I was really, really slammed, would I want to spend 2 hours changing my oil? No, of course not. That would be crazy. I mean, there's a cost-benefit analysis. In economics, it's called
return on investment.
No, it's.
Diminished returns. Now it's something else.
It's called opportunity cost. It's like, I can do this or I can do that. Okay, well, doing this, will save me $20 in my pocket, but the opportunity cost, I'll lose $100 in work that I would be doing over here. So although I would be saving a little bit of money here, the opportunity cost. I would actually be losing money, and that's kind of where you're at. You are so busy. It's a very, very quick calculation. You don't even have to factor in whether you want to do it or not. I'm busy making money over here. But you know what? Just pay the professional to come in here and do this while I'm being a professional over there and doing that. I mean, that's right. I mean, that's kind of where you're at.
Right.
And so there's, this is a mathematical decision. Mathematical. We're doing maths. I mean,
Maths.
this is a this is just it's a calculation whether you want to do it or no. I don't have the free time to do it if I wanted to. I would just get him to pay it, and of course, I suppose some portion of that could probably be written off a home office or whatever.
Well, yeah.
But and so you put you figure all that in. No, I just get the professional, get him in, get him out. It's a day. I mean, be done with it.
Yep. Yeah.
You would spend half a day running back and forth to the store buying all the crap you need.
Exactly. Well, I would need a saw. I would need to cut drywall. I would need boxes and patches and a fishing line, not like for Cat 5, I need it for networking.
I hear you.
And I would just get frustrated. It would take me days to do it, where he can come in and out. He knows what he's doing. He did the house next door. He's, yeah, this is what he does.
Yeah.
In the same way that, he wouldn't be able to come in and put a network together in a patch. I mean, he'd patch panel, but configure a domain controller and get all that up running. That's what he would call me, and I would, and he does. He says he's got other people that he calls out for things like that, and yeah. Exactly. So here is a question that came to me just prior to me going to pick up my kids today. Oh, by the way, let me get this out. We did start school here, and that both kids are in school now, and it's Patch Tuesday. So, or at least it was Patch Tuesday yesterday. So I wanted to throw that out there. So if you have any of your Windows machines, get them patched. 50, I think it was 12, a whole bunch of stuff. 56 stuff were updated, 56 vulnerabilities. Edge was updated, so Microsoft 10 was updated this month. Yeah, get those patched. So prior to me going to pick up my kids today, I got a phone call. What happens so when you're on your local machine and you move file from place 1 to place 2, you just move it or copy it, and it says, hey, do you want to do this? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, depending on whether you choose to move or copy, right? If you delete it on your local machine, it says, do you want to delete? And you hit yes or no, and you hit yes, and it goes to your recycle bin. If you have a mapped drive that goes to your network share somewhere on another machine, you hit delete, it'll ask you, do you want it deleted, yes or no? And then you hit yes, it goes away. It doesn't go to recycle bin, it just bypasses it. If you're on a map drive and you accidentally close, sure. If you're on a map drive and you, if you're on a map drive and you go to move the document just moves. So the trouble my client was having was that she was, files were getting moved and then she couldn't find them, and it was causing a lot of problems with her. I said, I don't know if there's a file out there, a program out there that'll do this. I found one just this afternoon. It's called drag drop confirm, and it's from broken-e.com/drag drop confirm. Wow. It's an executable that you need to put on your machine. You can run it on the server, but it doesn't matter because it actually runs on your local machine. What this will do is every time you go to move a file, it says, are you sure you want to do this? Confirming you want to move this. Now, it'll probably become a pain because every time you go to move a file, you're going to get prompted for this. But in her situation, she's going to force it to be used at this local company because of that.
Yeah.
So, I just thought I'd throw that out there. One of those ones that I thought that's a weird question, but somebody had found it, somebody had worked on it, and then created this file, this application, this local application.
Yeah, so that's a very specific solution for a very specific issue.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's just a couple of the things that I wanted that I had for tonight. Nothing too big or anything like that. I know that we've got some football games coming up, and everybody wants to get their snacks prepared, sit down, watch some football. I'm gonna go play a doubleheader at softball. So.
We had rain. We had rain yesterday. We got rained out. So.
Nah, we're doing nice here.
Good deal.
Cool. Well, a little show, but that's all right. It's better something than nothing.
It's fun. It's always fun.
It is fun. It definitely is fun. Definitely fun. And it's just been one of those weird weeks. I've been in the car so much this week. I haven't. I come home late at night and end up working.
You need a driver.
I do need I need to just hire Uber to drive me around.
How's your new little car? You like it?
Yeah.
I do like it. Filled it up for the second time because the first time it came with a half a tank of gas. So then I started a program. There's a great Android app out called Fuel Buddy that I used for it. I can put all my fuel information in there. It calculates my miles per gallon. So first time fueling it up, 30 miles to the gallon.
Good deal. Love it.
So we'll see as time goes on how well that stays. But yeah, Fuel Buddy. It's got a free app, but then you can pay it like $3, and it gets rid of some sponsors and stuff. But you can add photos, and I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do with it. I need to send that off to Dor at Android App Addicts to mention that because that's a pretty cool app for just being able to calculate your miles per gallon.
That doesn't help you find gas stations, right?
It will. Yeah.
So I'm thinking I've used Gas Buddy for
me too. Yeah.
a long time, and that's amazing.
Yeah. So.
Okay, must be something else. Okay, cool. Very nice.
Yeah. I mentioned people want to get a hold of us. We've got some emails, but we're going to get to that. Nobody's been sending us voicemails. That's all right.
Yeah, send us your emails at geeksters@podnuts.com, and we need some voicemails at 7076. Sorry, 707-676-3688. Yeah, we haven't had any of those for a while.
Oh,
We
that just
need
happens.
them.
Yeah. All right, Tim, if you want to get a hold of you, tell you, I don't know, go Steelers?
Yeah, you know, hey, go Steelers, go Geeksters. Hey, Tim, go to hell. I'm Tim Bauermeister on the G+.
I'm gonna write you something in G Plus now that says
Okay.
go.
Whatever. I mean, you know, hey.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good, baby.
I'm MobandoComputing.com, Mobando in the Google Plus, Obando Computing in the Hangouts. I come into Podnuts Hangout every now and then, just kind of, I'm there when I'm working. Guys, thanks for coming out and joining us tonight. It's a pleasure, as always, to do a Geekster show with you. All right, guys, have a great fiscal week, and don't forget to be gruntled. Bye, guys.
That's a wrap.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast.